You ever notice how people say, "I'm fine," when everything is clearly not fine? That right there is the biggest lie people tell in relationships. Not cheating. Not even "I love you" when they don't mean it. It's "I'm okay." Because "I'm okay" sounds harmless. But it slowly destroys connection. It hides frustration. It buries resentment. It builds emotional distance, brick by brick. And the scary part: most people don't even realize they're lying. Think about it. Your partner hurts you. Instead of speaking up, you say, "It's nothing." They ignore you. You smile and say, "Don't worry about it." Something feels off. But you convince yourself, it'll pass. But it doesn't pass. It piles up. Every "I'm fine" it becomes another layer of silence. Another missed chance to be understood. Another step away from real intimacy. And here's where it gets dangerous. One day, the relationship ends. And the other person says, "I didn't even know anything was wrong." And they're telling the truth. Because you never told them. The biggest lie in relationships is pretending everything is okay, just to avoid conflict. But avoiding conflict doesn't create peace. It creates distance. Real relationships, they are not built on perfection. They are built on honesty. Awkward honesty. Uncomfortable honesty. Even messy honesty. Because saying, "That hurt me. I feel ignored. I need more from you," might feel risky. But it's the only way to build something real. So next time you're about to say, "I'm fine," ask yourself, are you protecting the relationship or slowly killing it? Because silence doesn't fix relationships. It just hides the truth. Until it's too late. Until one day, the distance becomes so normal that nobody even tries to close it anymore. And that's when people start calling it falling out of love. But most of the time, it didn't fall. It faded in silence. No big argument started it. No dramatic breakup scene. Just small moments that were never addressed. Small feelings that were never spoken. Small disappointments that were never healed. You stopped saying how you feel. Because you didn't want to be too much. They stopped asking. Because they assumed everything was fine. And slowly, both of you started living in the same space. But different emotional worlds. That's the real danger. Not the loud fights. But the quiet disconnection that nobody names. And one day, you'll sit there and think, when did we become strangers? But the truth is, it didn't happen overnight. It happened every time you chose silence over honesty. Every time you swallowed what you should have said. Every time you said, "I'm okay," when you weren't. So if there's anything to take from this, don't wait until it becomes too late to speak. Because love doesn't die from too much talking. It dies from everything that was never said. And what was never said doesn't disappear. It just changes form. It turns into distance. It turns into irritation over small things. It turns into overthinking at night when everything is quiet. It turns into that feeling of something is off, but you can't explain what. And the painful part is, you'll still be sitting beside each other. Still texting. Still talking about normal things. Still acting like everything is fine. But emotionally, you've already left the relationship long before anyone officially ends it. Because when words are missing, assumptions take over. And assumptions are dangerous in love. You start assuming they don't care. They start assuming you don't need anything. And both of you become strangers trying to guess each other instead of knowing each other. But here's the truth people don't like to hear. Most relationships don't end because of lack of love. They end because of lack of communication. Love was still there, but it had no voice anymore. So if you feel something today, say it. If something hurts you, don't store it. If you miss the old version of your relationship, speak up before it becomes a memory instead of a reality. Because once silence becomes your habit, even love starts to feel quiet. And when love gets quiet enough, you don't notice when it finally leaves. And when it finally leaves, it doesn't always slam the door. Sometimes it just stops showing up in the small things. No more checking in, have you eaten? No more random calls just to hear your voice. No more effort to explain feelings that used to matter. It becomes polite, functional, empty. And that's what makes it so hard to recognize. Because nothing looks broken on the surface, but everything feels different inside. You're still together, but it feels like you're managing a memory of the relationship, not the relationship itself. And then one day, someone finally says it. I don't feel the same anymore. And the other person is shocked. Not because it came out of nowhere, but because they never heard all the things that led to it. That's the cost of silence. It doesn't protect love. It delays the truth. So don't wait for the moment where you have to say goodbye in confusion. Say what you feel while there's still something to save. Speak while you still care enough to fix it. Because once emotional silence becomes normal, even love struggles to find its way back. And sometimes, the biggest regret isn't what you said. It's everything you didn't. And everything you didn't becomes the conversations you replay in your head at 2 a.m. The words you should have said. The questions you were too afraid to ask. The moments you stayed quiet just to keep peace. But real peace was never silence. It was understanding. And now, instead of building the relationship, you're rebuilding it in your imagination, over and over again, trying to figure out where it went wrong. But by then, you're not fixing it anymore. You're just studying the damage. Because here's something people don't say enough. Love doesn't just die in arguments. It dies in hesitation. It dies in swallowed words. It dies in the space where honesty was supposed to be. And maybe the hardest truth is this. You didn't lose them all at once. You lost them in pieces. Every, I will talk about it later. Every, it's not that serious. Every, never mind. Piece by piece, until there was nothing left to hold on to. So if you still have the chance, don't waste it on silence. Say the thing. Start the uncomfortable conversation. Risk being misunderstood rather than never being known at all. Because once everything you didn't say becomes everything you can't fix, that's when you realize it wasn't one big mistake. It was all the small silences you kept choosing instead.